Bring the lights down low, time to start the show. Lights, camera, you know what we mean. Behold the magic of the silver screen. Some movies rock, some movies shock. They're powerful or odd. We cover them all on your favorite pod. They're dramatic, funny, sometimes scary. That's not weird, that's extraordinary. I've got the need and I've got a fever. So play me a little dream weaver. Life moves pretty fast. Some will fizzle and some movies last. I understood there would be no last. It's the 30-something movie podcast. Be excellent to each other. Peace out and word to your mother. They're from the best decades. Movie magic that never fades. Lightsabers clash, phasers set to stun. Action packed from dusk till dawn. We have deep thoughts and questions three. Come share our love of the movies we see. Life moves pretty fast. Some will fizzle and some movies last. I understood there would be no math. It's the 30-something movie podcast.
Yar, avast and belay me, mateys. It's I didn't do that in a very Muppety voice, but it's going to be Muppet Pirates this time around. So,
Muppet Pirates are very exciting.
Muppety Pirates.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yardy birdie her.
Dirty birdie, pirate birdie.
Hurdy polly wanty crackery. I don't know.
Okay.
That was almost too much English for the Swedish chef.
Almost.
Well, that's where tonight we're going to be talking Muppet Treasure Island. This is our first of a new month of themed movies for the 30-something movie podcast. First of all, I am your host, John Reed, and I am gathered here with the rest of the crew of the, I don't know, what's our pirate ship called? The Jolly Lack of Happening?
The jolly lack of happening.
I don't know.
That'll work.
Okay, that works.
Sure.
All right. We've got, as you can hear, we've got a Jeff Mazuka. Jeff, how are you doing?
Hi, everyone. It's good to be back.
I'm glad you're here. We know we can always count on you for a Muppet or a Disney movie.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Although I've got thoughts on the Muppet movie. We'll get there.
Yeah. We have a Patrick. Patrick, how are you doing?
I'm good, guys. I'm good. I'm excited to talk Muppets. I'm excited to talk sailing ships. I'm excited that Jeffrey's back. This is very exciting.
You know, Pat, there was a student today that accused me of being the guy on the podcast that falls asleep all the time.
Are you serious?
And John and I had to quickly correct him, like, no,
that's Mr. C.
Well, how did they get that messed up? Do they listen, or is this just how the legend is spreading?
I think it might just be the spreading of the legend.
Okay, because I did have students that said had their cell phone out in class and they're like, "Oh, sorry, Mr. C, I just got an alert. Your new episode just dropped." And I'm like, "All right, put the phone away."
It's not an excuse to have your phone out.
Yeah, that's not an excuse. In fact, I think you could get double the punishment for listening to our podcast. So,
I mean, sure. Let the download finish first, but then you got to put your phone away.
But that's
let's take it easy.
Yeah. And then you tell two friends, and they tell two friends, and so on.
They accused you of being that's outstanding.
Yeah. I was the guy that falls asleep on the podcast all the time.
I cannot wait to hear what student thought that.
I said, joke's on you. I'm not even on the podcast.
Oh, no.
I'm only on when Mr. Candigallo gives me his permission.
There you go.
Okay, stop it. Stop it.
Well, you know, when you're Vernon Hills famous.
Okay, enough.
And then we have our very own human versions of Sweetums, Bo Wormbold. Bo, how are you doing?
I'm well, John. How are you?
I'm good.
Human version of Sweetums. All right.
I mean,
okay.
You're not quite as shaggy as Sweetums is, but
No, but
you're
I'm right there with him.
You're a big, lovable monster.
Name Jack Job.
I love you guys. Yeah. All right. Well, so Muppet Treasure Island. I'm not gonna bury the lead too much on this one, but this is my first time watching this one.
Which blows my mind.
Yeah.
Same
too.
Same for Jeff.
Yeah, same for me.
Okay.
Really?
So,
Yeah.
Bo, are you the only one that had watched this before?
I am blown away by this. I mean, we're talking Tim Curry and the Muppets. Like, how do you go wrong?
I just. So yeah, we'll
All right. Well,
we'll get into it. All right. Well, real quick, spoilers. We spoil freely here, so just be warned if we mention a movie that you don't want to hear about. Just hit that little skip button a couple of times. We should have moved past that. Make sure you visit our website 30podcast.com, where you can leave a rating, a voicemail. You could also become a co-executive producer on Patreon. Over there, we've got a bunch of bonus episodes over there. And as always, thank you so much to all of our Patreon folks over there and the contribution that they make to help keep the lights on over here at the 30-something movie podcast virtual headquarters.
Yeah. Speaking and echoing your thank you, but speaking of spoilers, John, that we're a spoiler podcast, I just want to say shout out to Peter Jackson for having one of the best spoiler warnings not in his little run up to his movie. John and I had the occasion to go see The Two Towers back in the theaters. Was that just a week ago?
I think so. Yeah.
And okay, just all the things. What a fantastic movie that is. But they had the interview with Peter Jackson beforehand, and he was talking, and I forget exactly what part of the movie he was talking about, but he was going and breaking it down. And let's assume that the majority of people there probably had seen the thing like 6 trillion times and all that. That being said, there's a good chance that some of the people were boyfriends, girlfriends, husbands, wives, significant others, kids, or whatever that had not seen the movie. And so Peter Jackson he had a very relaxed way of speaking, and he was talking about something, and he says, yeah, so in the scene when you have the appearance of and what was it? Okay, so spoilers for Two Towers. I think he says when the Ents appear or when the trees move, or they talk about something, and he's just so nonchalantly like just talking about the end of his movie, and he just says, oh yeah, so sorry, spoiler alert there for everybody, and then just goes on, and it was like the most epic, like just nonchalant, like, hey, this is what's all in the movie. Yeah, but spoilers. So that's, as I'm saying that out loud, it's probably you had to be there. So I do apologize for like the other guys on the pod and the 2 people listening right now, but it was pretty funny.
It was funny, but it was also like you're kind of sitting there in the theater going, yeah, he shouldn't be too worried about spoilers. I don't know who else is going to be coming to see the extended edition of a 25-year-old movie in the movie theater. Like, who's going to sit for 4 hours?
Exactly.
In the movie theater to watch this. Yeah. Pat and I did.
That's the thing, too, though. Like, it's not a new movie. You've had it's been around 25 years.
Yeah.
If I don't know what you're waiting. If you haven't seen it yet and it's on your list, I don't know what you're waiting for.
And so that gets serious for a second. All of a sudden that hit me like, oh snap, that's 25 years old. Oh my, that's like, what would that be? That would be like, if I had brought Dominic, like taking a movie, like when I was Dominic's age, that's like watching a movie from the early 70s.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm just like, whoa. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, I digest.
It'd be like The Godfather.
Yeah, I'm sort of like that. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, as we do every beginning of each month, we are at the beginning of the month of February. And as we do, we occasionally like to, as long as we've got enough to put in the Mr. Fusion, we do like to hop into the DeLorean real quick and jump back to this month in 1996. So we're going to go all the way back to February of 96.
When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious.
All right, so top news from February of 96. February 6th of 1996, Columbia Records releases Tennessee Moon, the 23rd studio album by Neil Diamond. Featured original collaborations with a variety of country music songwriters and performers. And I'll put a little plug in here real quick if you guys haven't had a chance to see it. It might be out of theaters already, but really, really fun movie with Hugh Jackman playing the Neil Diamond impersonator. It was called Song Sung Blue. And Sharon and I went to go see that a few weeks ago now, but it's a true story about a guy and his wife from Milwaukee, I think, that he had been a Neil Diamond impersonator for a few years, and really good. Hugh Jackman did a great job in this movie. So, if you get a chance to go see it, it's an excellent movie.
Yeah, the previews looked good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
February 13th, the rock musical Rent by Jonathan Larson opens off-Broadway.
That was a sad night.
What's that?
That was a sad night.
Was a sad night?
Yeah, because Jonathan Larson passed just before it opened.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
He had a very somber performance, and a lot of it was the cast just sort of sitting on stage. And it wasn't until they got much later into the show that they finally found enough positive energy to really try to perform some of it.
Okay. So they knew going into the performance that he had passed.
Yeah.
Okay. On February 28th, the 38th Grammy Awards, Jagged Little Pill by Alanis Morissette won Best Album. And then we got some famous births. We've got on February 2nd, Paul Mescal, the Irish actor. He was in Gladiator 2 and Hamnet. He was born in Ireland. And on February 21st, Sophie Turner, the English actress who was in Game of Thrones, was born in Northampton, England. Gene Kelly passed on February 2nd, 1996, the American stage and screen dancer, singer, actor, choreographer, and director. He was an American in Paris, On the Town, and Singing in the Rain. He died of a stroke at age 83. And then a couple sports things on here. February 8th, the NFL in Cleveland allows Art Modell to move his NFL franchise to Baltimore, but he had to leave the Browns name behind. Couldn't take it with him. And then on February 10th, IBM chess-playing computer Deep Blue becomes the first computer to win a game of chess against a reigning human chess champion, Garry Kasparov. Top books were Intensity by Dean Koontz and Primary Colors by Anonymous, but it was later revealed to be Joe Klein. Top movies were Black Sheep, Broken Arrow, and Rumble in the Bronx. Top song was One Sweet Day by Mariah Carey and Boyz II Men, which I think will be the top song for like the first third of 1996.
The top Rumble in the Bronx was one of the top movies?
It was one of the top movies. Yeah, for a week, I think it was number one at the box office at the end of February.
Are we talking about that movie this year?
We should be, yeah.
Oh my God, we've got to be talking about that movie.
Yeah.
Now I'm really excited for this year.
When are we doing that one? Let me see.
He wasn't excited for this year till just now.
Just now.
But now.
Just now. I am excited.
If we're not, I got to find a way to add it because
I was just going to say this is going to be my
sad.
This is bringing my request of movies up to 4 now. I've really been like, I've been kind of demanding. I've been kind of a jerk.
No, not a jerk.
Yeah,
you've just got things you want to talk
demanding.
about. You got things you want to talk about.
I got things I want to talk about, man.
Okay, well, Pat, here's the thing. I'm looking at the list right now. I don't actually see it.
Oh my gosh!
Whoa! And I said, whoa.
Okay.
Did it come out this year? Did it come out earlier and then like come to U.S. theaters this year?
It's possible. You know what? Because I think it probably came out in 95.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it came out in 95, but for some reason, it may have just been that it was in U.S. theaters. Release date February in the U.S. was February of 96, yeah.
Okay.
So that's why it did not show up. We probably had it somewhere on the list last year, but it didn't quite make the cut.
Okay.
So if we need to fill a spot somewhere, we can always look at throwing it in there. But yeah.
Rumble in the Bronx. Man, that okay, we got to get talking Muppets. So I can't derail the thing. But man, that movie is the cat's patut. Let me say it that way.
It's a good time. Well, this one, we're going to dive right on into Muppet Treasure Island. We'll walk the gangplank and just dive right in. It came out on February 16th, 1996, rated G, with a runtime of 1 hour and 39 minutes. Directed by Brian Henson, who did The Muppets Christmas Carol and Muppets from Space. The writer was Jerry Jewell, who did Muppet Movie and The Great Muppet Caper. Writer was Kirk Thatcher, who did Muppets from Space and Dinosaurs. Brian Henson was producer, and Martin G. Baker was also producer, did Muppet Christmas Carol and Muppets from Space. Composer was Hans Zimmer, who did The Lion King and Crimson Tide. Cinematographer was John Fenner, who did The Muppet Christmas Carol and The Borrowers. Editor was Andrew Morby, who did The Lion King and The Muppet Christmas Carol. Production company was Jim Henson Productions. Budget was roughly $31 million. Box office $34.3 million. So did not do amazing at the box office. Flickmetrics gives it a 71%. CinemaScore gives it an A-. Tim Curry played Long John Silver. He was in Clue and the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Kevin Bishop was Jim Hawkins. He was in Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone and The Other Boleyn Girl. Dave Goelz was Gonzo. He was in Labyrinth and the Dark Crystal. Steve Whitmire was Kermit the Frog. He was in The Muppet Movie and The Great Muppet Caper. Frank Oz was Miss Piggy in The Blues Brothers and Little Shop of Horrors. Billy Connolly was Billy Bones. He was in Mrs. Brown and Brave. Jennifer Saunders was Mrs. Blubberidge. She was in Ab-Fab and Shrek 2. David Hyde Pierce was Benjamina Gunn. Was in A Bug's Life and Sleepless in Seattle. Dawn Austin was Clueless Morgan. Was in The Dark Crystal and Muppets Tonight. Brian Henson was Salty Sea Dog. It was in The Borrowers and Muppets from Space. Jerry Nelson was Old Joe. He was in the Great Muppet Caper and Follow That Bird. And Frank Welker did additional voices. He was in Aladdin and Beauty and the Beast. So I already mentioned Hans Zimmer was the composer for this one. He did the score and wrote some of the sea shanties. So the movie had maybe a little bit more of an epic musical feel than some of the previous Muppet movies. Tim Curry is sometimes cited as one of people's best human villains in any Muppet film. So we can argue whether we think that's true or not. And then I believe this is the first, Jeff, you might be able to correct me on this one if I'm wrong on this. This is the first Muppet movie released after Jim Henson's death, not directly based on an original story.
The Muppet Christmas Carol was the first.
That was the first one? Okay.
Yeah, this was a follow-up, the follow-up to that.
Okay. I was trying to remember because when did he pass? I was trying to remember what year.
It's a good question.
Because I couldn't remember if he was still alive but not well when Muppet Christmas Carol was being made, or if he had already passed then. So, okay.
Let me Google that for you. Did Jim Henson die? Jim Henson died May 16th of 1990.
1990. Oh, okay. So that was a full 2 years before Muppet Christmas Carol came out. Okay. All right. So this one, second Brian Henson film, and it was kind of this film they wanted to continue the kind of literary adaptation style after Muppet Christmas Carol. And apparently some of the early concepts were they actually had Gonzo and Rizzo playing the roles of Jim. They were going to split it up, and one was going to be Jim and one was going to be Hawkins instead of having a boy play Jim Hawkins. And, I think Brian Henson realized that the story might need a human anchor for the boy becomes a man arc. So they cast teenager Kevin Bishop to do this, and they moved Gonzo and Rizzo to kind of like sidekick narrator type roles that somewhat similar to what they might have had in Muppet Christmas Carol. And then this is, by some, considered to be possibly one of the grittier Muppet movies, a little bit more of an action-adventure than a puppet show, so had maybe some bigger sets and more cinematic lighting than some of the previous movies did. And definitely a bunch of big-name actors, as usual. Tim Curry in this. Billy Connolly, the Scottish comedian, was hilarious in his part. And Tim Curry, I believe, had said at one point in time that this was one of his favorite movies to be in. He was a big Muppet fan, and so he had a lot of fun playing in this one as well. One of the last trivia things I have on here is that apparently Tim Curry also revealed that he ad-libbed a bit of a racy line during one of his scenes with Miss Piggy, and was definitely cut by Disney before it was able to make it into the movie.
Do we know what the line was?
Supposedly, according to an interview, the line was, "Well, I'll tell you, Jim, once you've had pork, you never go back."
Hey now.
Okay, that's pretty awesome, but obviously, for obvious reasons, that can't go in. But yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, boys and girls, we can't say things like that. Yeah, the mouse objected. So, anybody else got any other trivia they know about this one, or?
Well, I don't think it was Disney that said that that line had to go, because they didn't acquire the Muppets until 4.
I thought they were part of were they not part of the gaggle of production companies on this one?
They may be attached to it now.
Okay.
But they didn't fully acquire the Muppets until 2004.
Okay. Where did I see that then? I thought I saw... They were.
They still could have had something to do with the movie. Heck, they might have some weird right to Treasure Island. You never know.
So
it is the mouse.
So it is. Okay, so it was produced by Walt Disney Pictures and released by Buena Vista Pictures Distribution. But it does say in here that it was the second Muppets film to be produced by Walt Disney Pictures. The parent company would later acquire the Muppets in 2004. So it did look like they were involved in the production of it. So they might have had some say.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Bialystock and Bloom style.
Sure.
Someone had a seat at some table somewhere that allowed them to have final say on which humor made it in and out.
Possibly. That's possible. All right. We're going to do a quick synopsis for this one, run through 10 major moments, and then we'll get into our discussion on Muppet Treasure Island. In a world where greed sails the high seas, one boy will learn the meaning of loyalty. Jim Hawkins joins Long John Silver, Kermit, and Gonzo on a perilous voyage where betrayal, buried treasure, and singing pirates collide.
Yar.
Yar.
Centuries ago, a legendary treasure was buried on a remote island. And there's only one living soul daring enough to find it.
Hello, everyone.
Captain Abraham Smollett is taking command.
This voyage has begun.
To wherever the wind may take us. Hurry, Rizzo! I'm going as fast as I can.
But there's trouble afoot.
Beware the one-legged man. He's the one to fear.
Long John Silver, at your service.
One leg, Jim. Count 'em. One.
Now, the captain is being pursued by pirates.
Pirates.
We're sailing for buried treasure.
We're gonna be rich.
We're gonna be dead.
Surrounded by danger.
Terrific. Captured by crazed wild pigs and sacrificed hideously before a pagan altar.
Are we lucky or what?
And haunted by his past.
Bonsoir, mes amis. Smollett, can it be you?
Old girlfriend.
We got cabin fever. We lost one since we had. We got cabin fever. We're all going mad.
Walt Disney Pictures presents from Jim Henson Productions a classic tale of ships coming in
Who hired this crew?
and luck running out.
Get the treasure.
Let's torture the rat. No more, Miss Nice Guy.
Muppet Treasure Island.
I'm starting to worry about this voyage.
All right. Well, we've got 10 major moments for this one. And I'm actually going to turn the reading of the 10 major moments over to my friend over here next to the microphone, Mr. Bimbo. So, Mr. Bimbo, can you read off the 10 major moments for us, please? This Mr. Bimbo. This guy's crazy, right, guys? Why are you looking at me weird? Why are you looking at me weird, Jeff? I think you should apologize to Mr. Bimbo.
I will not be doing that.
Jeff, are you not a fan of the Mr. Bimbo gag?
There was a bit of this movie that I was not a fan of,
Okay.
that being one.
Okay, all right. Well, fine. I'm sorry, Mr. Bimbo. I will take over. Jeff doesn't like you, so if you just want to go sit over there, I will resume then. Now, Mr. Bimbo is sad.
And yet the world still turns.
It's true. It's true. As we learned from Princess Bride, get used to disappointment. We open with Jim Hawkins, orphaned and running an inn with Gonzo and Rizzo, listening to Billy Bones spin a terrifying pirate lore about Captain Flint, buried treasure, and the ultimate pirate mic drop, murdering your crew so only you know where the map is. Blind Pew shows up, drops the black spot like it's a cursed Post-it note, and Billy Bones, immediately stressed, dies. With his last breath, he gives Jim the treasure map and warns him about, you guessed it, a one-legged man. It wasn't me, it was the one-legged man. I don't care. Naturally, an entire pirate mob storms the place, absolutely demolishes the inn, and Jim, Gonzo, and Rizzo barely escape with the map. Childhood innocence, gone. Trauma, implied. Adventure, absolutely. The map goes to Squire Trelawney, played as a lovable idiot by Fozzie Bear, who instantly bankrolls a treasure expedition. Jim and the boys sign on as cabin boys aboard the Hispaniola. Captain Smollett runs a tight ship. Mr. Arrow is aggressively rule-obsessed, and the cook, Long John Silver, immediately charms Jim. Huge red flag, though. Silver is one-legged, and Jim just ignores the prophecy entirely. Smollett smells pirate nonsense right away. Gonzo and Rizzo get kidnapped and questioned. Silver fakes Mr. Arrow's death, and during Arrow's memorial, which is incredibly dark for a Muppet movie, the pirates steal the map. Jim overhears everything, realizes Silver is ex-Flint's crew, and tells Smollett. Smollett's plan, drop the pirates on the island and peace out. Unfortunately, Silver kidnaps Jim and blows that plan to smithereens. On the island, Silver tries to recruit Jim, steals his late father's compass, and Smollett's rescue party gets captured by a tribe of pigs ruled by Benjamina Gunn, a.k.a. Miss Piggy, who is also Smollett's extremely furious ex. The treasure cave is empty. Silver nearly loses control, and Smollett and Piggy get sentenced to death in peak pirate theatrics. Jim rescues everybody. Mr. Arrow comes back alive, pretending to be a ghost, and the ship is retaken. After a beach sword fight and Silver's surrender, Jim catches him trying to escape with the treasure. Neither can pull the trigger, emotionally or literally, and Jim lets Silver go. Silver returns Jim's compass, strands himself accidentally, and the crew sails off, while Rizzo's scuba diving rats recover the treasure anyway. That is the major moments of Muppet Treasure Island, and now we are going to dive into the deep blue thoughts that we might have about this movie.
And now, Deep Thoughts.
I have an opinion on this matter.
Don't mince words, Bones. What do you really think?
I like it a lot.
Wow. It's very deep. Thank you.
All right. So I think three of us already said this was our first time watching this one. So I'll just ask Bo this time. Human Sweet. When was the first time you saw this one?
Probably when it came out.
Okay.
HBO, Blockbuster, something like that. I mean, didn't go to the theater. That much I can almost guarantee. But it was a Muppet movie and Tim Curry was in it, so I'm pretty sure we saw it.
Yeah. I'm kind of, knowing my family's affinity for the Muppets, I'm kind of shocked we didn't see this in the theater, but I remember completely...
I'm shocked you didn't see it.
I know. And I'm trying to remember why we wouldn't have. I don't know if it was just a case of being a high school kid and it was like too cool for the Muppets or something. I don't know. I don't know that you can be too cool for the Muppets, but...
Too cool for the Muppets,
yeah.
Huh?
I don't know. I don't know why we didn't go see it.
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, no, but this was this last week, or yeah, within the last week or two, was the first time I had seen this movie. So had not. I mean, I remember the trailer of it. I remember seeing every time you'd go on like a Disney Plus or I'd go to the video store. I remember seeing this in the video store, and just for some reason or another, this was the only Muppet movie I had never seen. So I cannot explain it. Jeffrey, I know that you are a large... Do you have a
trauma visit upon you by Treasure Island? Is there a...
No, I enjoy pirates. So I don't know.
You are?
Yeah. Jeffrey, I know that you are also a big Muppet fan. So my follow-up question is the same question I posed to myself. Why didn't you see this before?
I don't have a good answer.
Yeah.
I think after originally having seen parts of Muppet Christmas Carol at the time around when it came out, I wasn't a huge fan of that then.
Yeah.
And then when this movie was announced, I just felt like the Muppets were knowing that Jim Henson had passed, the Muppets were no longer going to be an original thing. They were just going to start doing their versions of these classic stories. And
sure.
I was like, that's not what I want from the Muppets.
Yeah.
And I was never really into Treasure Island to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just sort of like, okay, I'm just kind of over this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the lack of originality coming out of Muppet Studios was just not something I was a fan of at the time. So I just sort of let it be.
Yeah. And I looked at the timeline at one point, and I feel like it was, as you had, was it 9 years or 8 years? It was something, 8 years, I think, between, was it Muppets Take Manhattan in 84 and then Muppet Christmas Carol in 92? And then you've got this one in 96, and I want to say Muppets from Space is 99, so you got another 3 years until the next one. And then after that, I think you had the biggest gap. I think it was 12 years from Muppets from Space to the Muppets in 2011.
I believe that's right, yeah.
Yeah. Because this was, I remember, and I don't remember as a kid, I'm trying to remember Muppet Christmas Carol, if we saw that in the theater or not. Because I feel like, I mean, a lot of my experience with the Muppets is kind of watching it at home, watching the early movies especially, but more so than any other one, we had, I think off of HBO or something, we had recorded Muppets Take Manhattan. So that was always what we had it on tape. So that one could be watched at the drop of a hat. Anytime you wanted to, you could watch Muppets Take Manhattan in our house. And so I think our go-to was, you want to watch a Muppets movie? Boom, here you go. Muppets Take Manhattan, readily available. And that one we watched on the regular.
Same thing in my house. That and Great Muppet Caper were the two that we would put on all the time.
Yeah. Pat, you said this is also your first time watching this one?
Yeah, first time here too, and it's interesting because I'm kind of hearing, like, I'm kind of feeling like the same trend that I hear you guys talking about, and it was always the Muppet movie or the Muppets Take Manhattan. The Muppet Christmas Carol probably saw that a little bit later. There's a couple of Muppet movies that Jeff and I were talking today, and he brought it up, and maybe it was the Muppet Caper or the Muppet. I don't know. Did they do a horror movie like the Muppet? I don't know. I'm sorry. We were talking about one of the Muppet movies. I'm like, oh, did that one come out after? No, that one came back out and like back around the time of Muppets Take Manhattan. And I'm just like, oh, okay. No, that was the Muppet Caper, wasn't it?
Muppet Caper.
Yeah. And so, and I'm just like, oh man, I didn't even know that those movies were the same time. So it's interesting. I remember watching the show. I remember a couple of the movies. I remember the Muppet Babies cartoon, but then it wasn't like I have to see every Muppet movie out there. So I feel like there's some gaps. And then it wasn't a matter of too cool for the Muppets, because I think if you would have asked, like, where I was right now, this would have been, February 96, I would have been finishing up senior year of high school. And so it wasn't like, oh, I'm too cool for the Muppets, but I think there were other things that was just taking up all my attention. And I still was too young to get into the whole nostalgia thing. Right. And I think we did Toy Story, right? Toy Story's been out at this point.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was last year.
That was last year.
95. Yeah. So I think that was when that came out. I remember talking and it was like, wow, they've got humor that's like good for adults and for kids. And like, so the quote unquote kids stuff probably would have been consumed with like Toy Story and Pixar. And as that was coming to the front, it was a couple years, like I was in college, and all of a sudden it's like, man, got to go back and watch the Muppets. These guys are awesome, right? Like, so it was definitely not too cool for them. I just think there were other things taking up my attention. And so I didn't even process that this had kind of come out. So yeah, no excuses. And that's my story. Sad, but true.
Yeah. So for this one, let's dive right into this one. For this one, what does this movie do well? Before we dive into what we don't necessarily care about it, what do you like about this one? What does this movie do well?
Well, I'll be honest. I like the story of Treasure Island. I remember, I think it's been a while, but I think I read it, or maybe I read a youth version of it. I've watched a couple of different movie versions of it. I remember growing up, I had a graphic novel with a tape that you could have play and would like read it to you with sound effects and the whole thing. So I was a pretty big fan of that. Pirate movies were always like a lot of fun to watch in our house and all that. So I kind of enjoyed the Muppetization of the classic bit of literature. And Jeff, I know full well, and I respect that, you said that's kind of where the Muppets fell away for you, was when they started trying to push all the different literary things. I didn't mind that as much. I thought some of the humor, it was laugh out loud Muppet humor, right? Like some of the stuff with Beaker and Bunsen Honeydew. Miss Piggy's always amazing. Tim Curry's great as a villain, and I thought it was a fun twist on the Treasure Island story.
Yeah, I think in terms of some of the humor in this one, there seems like some of the humor is maybe a little bit more adult in this one than some of the other Muppet movies.
Yeah.
And, I think some of that it does well, where it kind of skirts the edge between, here's a kid's movie, but it's also for the adults that are coming to see it too. So I think it does that part well. It's fun to see all the classic Muppet characters in these different scenarios. So I think in terms of that, there were some similar beats. Some stuff felt similar to what they had done in Muppet Christmas Carol. And
wasn't there something with Miss Piggy where Kermit's like, "Oh my gosh, you dated him too?"
Yes.
And it was like,
yeah.
And what did she say? I was on a desert island, or you left me?
I have a type.
That's right. That was pretty funny.
So, Bo, what works for you about this one? What does this one do well?
The Muppet things, like the placement of Stadler and Waldorf, is perfect. Right? Where are you going to put these? Where are you going to put these guys who hang out in an opera box? They're the front of the show. Like, that was perfect. The use of Rizzo and Gonzo as sort of pulling from a similar shtick from Muppet Christmas Carol, where they were like the not quite narrators, but sort of removed from the story a little bit. Tim Curry's amazing. The couple, the tie-ins with Miss Piggy were so great. Yeah, it was the Muppetness of it all that was fun. I don't know the story of Treasure Island like the back of my hand, like I do A Christmas Carol. So this is kind of a fun way for me to experience it.
Yeah. Jeffrey, what does this movie do that works for you? I know we talked a little bit about how you've got some reservations about this one, but what does it do well?
I think just it's Muppets, so there's always some good one-liners. There's always some good sight gags. Those things are always going to be there and are always going to be good. But other than that, there wasn't much about this movie that I enjoyed.
Okay, so we've talked about what works for us in this movie, and Jeffrey, you shared that not a whole lot works for you in this movie. So why does this movie not work as a Muppet movie? Unleash yourself, Jeff.
I'd rather just talk about the Muppet movie.
Well, that's fine. Which one? The 2011 or the?
No, I don't. Everything felt forced. It felt like it was trying to follow the same structure and ideas of Muppet Christmas Carol.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I was like, another reason why I was like, wow, there's just no originality coming out of the Muppets anymore. Because now, not only are we seemingly leaning into just retelling classic stories, but they're all going to be following the same structure. We're going to start off with the song. And that was the thing too. Like a lot of the music, the music didn't work for me. I found that the songs were very long and drawn out.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't add much in terms of helping much of the storytelling. Some of the songs were kind of ridiculous and just annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Tim Curry was good, as Tim Curry always is, but I just felt like the other human actors didn't live up to his level of performing, especially when you're performing against Muppets.
Sure.
So that just felt kind of unbalanced as well. But I don't know. I did not care for this one.
Mm-hmm.
Too bad, because I love most things Muppets.
Right.
So I was really surprised at how much I didn't enjoy this movie.
I found a lot of I don't know that I have too much to add beyond what you said. You said pretty much everything I was going to say. That not that I didn't dislike the movie, but it's one that I watched and I was like, I don't know that I'm going to go back to that one ever again because I've watched it now, and I don't know that I feel like I need to watch it again. And the songs were, and I don't know if this is me coming at it as an adult more so than a kid or a younger person, but the songs were pretty forgettable. Like I don't know that I can't even hum or think of any of the songs in my head right now. So I don't know that compared with other Muppet movies. Yeah, I don't know that. I mean, it's not very memorable.
Having just watched this movie this weekend, which I think I finished watching it yesterday, I can't think of a single melodic line, but yet I can pull songs easily from the original Muppet movie.
Right.
That's what, almost 50 years old now?
Right.
Like, I don't, it didn't land. And I don't know if, going back to the human actor thing too, and I was thinking about this, comparing it to Muppet Christmas Carol, in that you have Michael Caine and then you have some minor human actors. This one seemed to have a lot more prominent human actors. And I just feel like they collectively didn't balance well against the Muppets. And maybe that was part of the issue in trying to tell somebody else's story using the Muppets.
Yeah.
Is that if you don't have the right balance of the human to Muppet ratio, it's just harder to pull off because there's a lack of something. I don't know. I don't want to say believability, but there's a lack of something that just wasn't landing for me. The last third of the movie, I don't even know if I could really tell you how it played out because the movie just was kind of running in the background at that point.
The human to Muppet ratio is something that I believe mathematicians study their entire lives, and some never solve.
I get it, man. That you have to strike that perfect balance.
It's like string theory or black holes. I don't know.
The Muppet to human ratio.
Bo, was there anything about this one? You've watched this one before. You enjoyed it. Is there anything about this one that does not work for you?
I think you guys are mentioning a lot of things that are clangy. Like the music is not memorable, for sure. You're not humming along with it. It's just there. You mentioned the Muppet movie, Muppets Take Manhattan. I can hear the Muppet Christmas Carol in my head right now. Granted, I watched it about a month ago, but still. There's nothing too memorable about this, right? We can sit here and quote lines from some of those other movies. Does anyone have a line from this movie we just watched? I mean, I have a concept of Fozzie's finger guy, but that's it. That's what I hold on to.
Yeah.
So as much as I enjoy it from just the Muppet aspect of it, there's definitely some stuff that doesn't make it a fantastic Muppet movie. It's, I'd have to do some soul searching, but it might be on the bottom of the Muppet movie mountain,
Yeah.
Pat, did you say you read Treasure Island? Patrick?
Well, do we have another story for that student?
Yeah. We lost
I read it a long time ago, and I know the
I'm just
broad strokes of it, but
if that Mr. Bimble thing, is that something that happens in the story?
I don't think so. I think that was a completely made-up gag.
I don't remember a Mr. Bimble.
Or whatever, what a weird thing to come up with and say, I'm going to make this kind of a prominent part of the story. Right? It's not like it was a one-off thing. There was a lot of callback to it throughout the entire movie. In which case, that's a very odd choice to make to introduce into a story. So I don't know if it was taking the place of another character, but I found that to be very weird.
Yeah, it was a little strange. Yeah.
Another thing that took me out of it was the boy that played Hawkins.
Yeah.
I read that because his voice was changing
yes.
during production, they had to dub in a lot of his songs from when he first recorded them. And hearing his high falsetto singing voice compared to how he spoke, you can definitely hear like where his voice is changing.
Yeah.
As he's aging, making this movie. And again, that was something that kind of took me out of it, just that inconsistency.
Yeah. Yeah. You mentioned, are there any lines we could even quote from this one? Even before I came down here to record our podcast tonight, as I'm leaving the living room, I'm handing the TV remote over to my wife, and I said, "Would you like the goat?" No, the remote. Oh, the remote. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. I mean, yeah, yes, I could, just at the drop of a hat, can pretty much quote any other Muppet movie, but
this one,
not necessarily this one. No. All right. Well, do we have any other thoughts? I think overall, it's a passable Muppet movie, but it's not necessarily one. It's probably not one I'm going to revisit. There's plenty of other ones I will watch over and over again. I mean, as we've been sitting here, the song "Somebody's Getting Married" is playing in my head, so I'm definitely going back to a different Muppet movie if I'm going to go watch one.
Yeah, I don't think I'm ever really going to watch this one again.
Yeah, which is a shame because pirates are fun.
They are fun. Pirates are fun. Muppets are fun. Tim Curry is fun. There's nothing about this that shouldn't work, but yet in my mind, it did not.
Yeah. It's like you put a whole bunch of fun things together and it just ends up weird. Much like another movie we're going to talk about later this year, Mars Attacks, but that's a few months away.
But Mars Attacks is deliberately meant to be weird.
Oh, absolutely. This one, no.
From its inception, that was designed to be a bizarre film.
Yeah.
This one, it's an unfortunate side effect that it just ended up being like it. The sets felt very small. Like it felt very much like on a movie set.
Yeah.
Compared to almost every other Muppet movie.
Do you need Tim Burton to make a Muppet movie?
That would be incredibly interesting. I'm not opposed to that idea.
I'd be curious to see that. That'd be kind of fun.
I would love to hear Muppet humor against a Tim Burton film.
Okay, now I have thoughts because one of our 3 questions. I want to have my version. What I want the Muppets to do to adapt. I now want Tim Burton to direct it, and I'm curious how that might turn out.
He asks each traveler 5 questions. 3 questions. 3 questions.
It's impossible to answer.
Impossible because you don't know the answer.
Nobody could answer that question.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. I want to have them answered immediately.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
All right, our 3 questions for this time around. What is your favorite song in a Muppet movie?
How are there so many songs about rainbows?
Yeah, I was thinking that one as well.
Yeah.
So, how do you say, or how does Rainbow Connection not enter the conversation at least?
Yeah.
Right. But I mean, I could do. It's in my head, but I'm drawing a blank on what the name of it is. But the Michael Caine song from Christmas Carol is fantastic too.
Man or a Muppet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with
moving right along.
Yeah, moving right along.
Loose and fancy free.
If
moving right along.
If Muppets Take Manhattan is my favorite, I think I got to go with Together Again.
Yeah. Can't go wrong with Together Again. Together Again's great because it's not just a great song, but it's just a great point in the mood. Like, I don't know.
Together Again. Gee, it's good to be together again. It's not starting over. It's just going on. Yeah, now we're going to be... Okay, great. Now I'm going to be singing Muppet stuff all night.
Yeah, that's how that's going to go.
That's fine. I don't know why I'm complaining about that.
We're moving right along.
Yeah. Yeah, Man or a Muppet is a good one, too. Like, I think that one, especially when...
Jim Parsons.
Yes, especially when he shows up as the human version.
That was such a well-kept secret.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was such a well-kept secret that he was doing that cameo.
Yeah.
In that movie. I remember being at the theater watching that. And like when he popped up, my friend Jordan and I just looked at each other. We were like, oh, amazing.
That's outstanding. Question 1B, are you a Muppet of a man or a very manly Muppet?
People's is people's, okay?
I am a Muppet of a man.
Okay.
Whatever that actually means. I'm not sure.
I feel like I'm a very manly Muppet.
A very manly Muppet.
Very manly Muppet. And Bo is Sweetums.
Jack not name. Jack job.
All right. Question number 2. What classic story should the Muppets adapt that they haven't already adapted? And Jeff pointed out, we have already asked this one. We probably asked it a couple years ago when we did Muppet Christmas Carol. So maybe we'll see if your answers are the same. I have just now decided. I mean, my decision was already made. I think last time I might have said Les Mis. I think I might switch. I'll do a similar story, but I now want Tim Burton to direct it. I want Muppet Three Musketeers.
There you go.
Interesting.
I want Muppet Three Musketeers directed by Tim Burton.
Tim Burton directing.
Yeah.
With Charlie Sheen playing Cardinal Richelieu.
Sure. Yeah, Tim Curry would not be able to reprise that role, so I would take Charlie Sheen, yeah.
Or Kiefer Sutherland. Anyone from the 95 Three Musketeers?
No, 90.
93?
93, 92, 93,
yeah,
I think, yeah.
93.
Yeah.
Anyone from that as Cardinal Richelieu is fine. Oliver Platt would be hysterical, although he's a little old looking right now.
A little older now, but that could be funny.
Yeah.
So that's mine. It's Muppet Three Musketeers directed by Tim Burton.
Classic story. I was like, my mind always goes to Les Mis. Although, Bo, I had asked John a follow-up question. So what about a remake of another movie? In which case, once I got the okay with that from John, I submitted Clue.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good. That would be fantastic.
And or The Princess Bride.
Princess Bride would be a really good one.
Yeah, the only problem with that is I think I have a religious objection to redoing The Princess Bride just by anyone. But other than that, I agree.
Sweetums as Fezzik.
Oh, 100%. Anybody want a peanut?
I mean, that'd be a lot of, hey, Pat's here.
Pat is here.
Hey, Pat. Well, I liked your idea of Clue because I'm picturing Miss Piggy. Flames on the side of my face.
Side of my face. Oh God.
But see, when you get to but then the butler has to be, you got to pull in Sesame Street characters because then you got to do 1 + 1 + 2.
You just do Sam. Sam has to be the butler, right?
Well, yeah, maybe, yeah. I'm going to go home. No.
Oh, God.
Yeah, Sam the Eagle delivered that last line of the movie.
That would definitely have to be the Muppets After Dark version.
Right.
Patrick, what classic story should the Muppets adapt?
So I was just on like a full roll when we were first recording. It was just, I had to like narrow it down because it was just like, oh, they should be in this one. And then they should do this one. And it was just like everything. So trying to play within the only having one answer per question. And I don't know how this would work, but I think Jeff and I were talking about this when this question first came up, or when we first started discussing it. And I'm going to go into the classic literature, and I think I'll say the Muppet Divine Comedy.
Oh, okay.
And it could be one of those where it's like a 3-part of the franchise. It could be the Muppet Inferno, and then the Muppet, what was it? Paradiso, and then Purgatorio. I don't know if I'm really saying that right, or if I'm just adding Oreo to the end of,
I like to add Oreos.
But Oreos
pretty
is
much
good.
to everything.
I like it. The Swedish Chef's Inferno.
Frankie, Frankie.
Hurdy burn the sinners and the herd of Blayers.
Yeah. The other one was like the Muppet Odyssey or the Muppet Iliad, but then it was kind of like, those would be a lot of fun. But then it's like, okay, which stories really lend itself to pulling in like the full Muppet cast, right?
Muppet Julius Caesar.
Et tu, Fozzie?
Friends.
Wow,
Yeah.
Waka waka.
Yeah, friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. Fozzie, put your ears back on. Waka waka.
What if you did like Muppet Tom Sawyer?
Yeah.
Muppet Tom Sawyer would be good.
That could be good.
Muppet To Kill a Mockingbird?
No, Atticus, it's Ralph. Leave him alone. There's a lot of good options. Finally, question number 3. What classic sailing vessel would you want to captain?
Well, so there were some conversations and clarifications put in place for this boat that we landed on the fact that it had to be a ship above water. Does it need to have a sail?
It needs to have the possibility of a sail.
Possibility of a sail. Okay.
Okay.
Because otherwise it'd be like, oh, the Millennium Falcon. Or the Nautilus was the other one I was thinking. But
Yeah, because that would be good.
But yeah, thinking of like a classic, almost like a pirate ship or like a 17th or 18th century ship.
Well, so I was thinking the Orca. Or the pirate ship Revenge from Princess Bride.
The Revenge.
The Dread Pirate Roberts ship.
I was going to say, that would make you the new Dread Pirate Roberts, would it not?
I could handle a life of piracy.
Yar.
I'm going to go. I've always liked the look of the Jolly Roger in the movie Hook. So I'm going to go with
that one's cool.
Captain Hook's ship from Hook. I like the fact that you can kick the stairs and the red carpet comes out.
Well, that is a nice feature.
That's the one with the big skeleton, the big skull along the back of it, right?
Yeah.
I was thinking about the USS Constitution or the HMS Victory. Both classic storied vessels of yesteryear.
Those are really good choices. Narrow it down to one. I'm going to have to say the HMS Surprise from Master and Commander.
There you go.
I wondered if Master and Commander would come up.
And it's you just get to see that one so much in that movie, and it's great. And that's actually, awesome. I'm really remiss in this. I was saying when you first released this question, I'm kind of like, oh man, I feel like I love pirate movies and I love sailing movies, but I just don't know the ships as much as I should. And I would love, I should read more about what they used as that ship, right? Because, I mean, I know there were certain sets and all that, but there should have been, I think they used something as like the boat, right? They used something as the ship. And I feel like I just haven't researched that as much as I should.
Apparently the replica ship that was built is on permanent exhibit at the Maritime Museum of San Diego.
Okay. Interesting. Well, and I know there was one of them that when I was researching different ships, they were like, yeah, it was like it had been a pirate ship in like several different movies. Or I shouldn't say a tall-masted sailing ship. So the HMS, the Surprise. But Bo, I agree with you. Like the Constitution, I mean,
when you set foot aboard that, I mean, that's just incredible. And it's still sitting there in the bay floating, and yeah. So that's pretty cool. The Dawn Treader always captured my curiosity.
Yeah, good
That's
one.
I hadn't thought about that one.
I always thought the Dawn Treader was cool. I always liked like that, and I don't know if it was kind of based. It was similar to, like the Viking ships with the big tall, the big like dragon on the front of it. And
I should have done the Viking looking ship that King Arthur rides in at the end of Holy Grail.
Oh yeah,
could have done that one. Oh, you know what? I might take back my answer. The Argo.
I might take mine as well.
The Argo from Jason and the Argonauts.
There you go.
I might have to go with that one.
Solid choice.
I love that ship.
I was thinking the Inferno.
Do
you guys know which one that is?
Inferno.
The Inferno. What's that from?
It's One-Eyed Willie's ship.
Yes.
Yes. There you go.
Yes. Yeah, that's a fun one. Yeah. Didn't they just do a Lego set of that?
Yes, it's on my list.
Okay.
It's awesome.
That's so cool.
And how much is that set?
More than what my wife is willing to let me spend.
Uh-huh.
It's outside your price range.
It's out. Well, if it is outside my price range and I purchase it, I will be living outside my house.
You would have to find One-Eyed Willie's gold to be able to afford said Lego set?
Yes.
Fair enough.
There's also a new Death Star set that came out.
Yes.
About $1,000.
Yeah. My son at college who has no money keeps telling me about that one.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
That all sounds good.
Yeah.
There's
All right.
Growing up,
Yeah.
Captain Blood was the pirate movie that like we just watched all the time. So his ship, I think that was that the Arabella? I think that was the name of it. I could be off of that, but I always thought that was pretty cool.
Captain Blood's ship name, the Arabella.
There you go. Check out the Big Brain on
Excellent
Pat.
memory, Pat. Exactly.
What was that?
I said, check out the Big Brain on Pat.
Yeah. And I'll be honest, any of the ships. See, and this is why because now I'm just getting where like every ship is awesome, but like any of the ships in Pirates of the Caribbean.
All right. Well, we've answered all the questions. We now all have our own tall ships and a star to steer them by, and that's going to do it for Muppet Treasure Island. So, thank you to my crew of scurvy ne'er-do-wells.
I don't
take that.
Scurvy.
You don't have scurvy? Okay.
No, I eat my oranges.
Oh, okay. All right.
No scurvy for me.
Okay. Well, that's the PSA from the 30-something movie podcast. Eat your oranges, kiddos.
Avoid the scurvy.
No scurvy for you.
No scurvy for you. We've got some more good movies coming up this month. The theme for this month is movies where limbs have been severed month. And so we started off with Muppet Treasure Island because, of course, pirates.
I love that there's enough movies to turn that into a category.
The fact that I could find 4 or 5 movies, I was like, yep, no, that's a theme. So we got Muppet Treasure Island with the pirates. We got Happy Gilmore with the Chubs. We've got Kingpin, and we've got Star Trek First Contact that are all coming up this month. And then our Patreon we got Batman, and he almost has his leg removed by an exploding shark. So that could be said to be a limb almost being severed.
Sometimes it's just hard to get rid of a bomb.
Can't get rid of a bomb. Yeah. All right. Well, gentlemen, it is always lovely to have you here. Lovely to talk movies.
Well, gee, John, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah,
man.
it was very fun.
You're welcome. Come back again sometime.
Pat got a good...
Think about it.
I don't think Pat heard you.
Yeah, the sound cut off right as you were saying something there, Jeffrey.
I said Pat got a good nap.
I did. That hit all of a sudden. I'm like, dang. So
that's all right. We've confirmed for that one student that it's not Jeff who falls asleep on the podcast.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. The student listening, unless they think we're the same.
Well, Pat, I was actually trying to ask a question of you.
That's awesome.
when there was no response. So thanks for that.
You're welcome. That's just the way I reject your question. That's like a pocket veto. I don't outright reject your question. I just fall asleep before you can ask me.
We need a new sound drop. Pat just slept through your question. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
There we go. A sound drop coming to a podcast near you. All right, everybody, be excellent to each other. Go watch some good movies, and we will see you back here next time.